Hello everybody. Today is December 25th, and I wanted to do something special. Also, if the timer said 12:32, that's not true. It's actually 11:32. I'm trying to make this video as best as I can. This is chapter 6, called The Evening Scroll, and should be coming up. And here is the little artwork. Pretty nice, which I really like. And the credit goes to Reverine. So now let's read the evening stroll. Got it right. The movie played for 1 hour or so until it finally ended and the credits scrolled up to the screen. The lights from the center of the room slowly turned back on, and I watched for a little second as people got up from their chairs and made their way out of the room. Well, doll, there you go. What do you think about it? Cuphead instantly questioned me while turning his head to face mine. I loved it. I want to watch it again, I responded with a huge smile plastered on my face. Me too, Mugman piped up, excitement rushing out of his voice like a tornado. Golly, really? Cuphead asked, looking at Mugman first before looking down at Cuphead questioned with a suggestive tone. His smile grew wider as eyelids half closed, giving me a tinge of grin. That looked a little wistful. Oh. I blushed a little, while looking at the opposite side of him. Aww, Mugman squealed quietly, with glowing eyes that were staring directly at us. Cuphead looked over at his brother with a down-frown look, almost as if he got where he was. Leno coughed before moving his arm from behind me, standing up and brushing off the popcorn crumbs off of him. He looked back at me and raised his glove. He looked back at me again and raised his gloved hand towards me, offered to help me stand back up. I took the offer, without hesitation, and placed my hand on his. Feeling him hold it a little tight, he pulled me up from the chair, carefully, and continued to hold my hand. Thank you. He laughed as he held in my hand and got himself up. Once we were out of the theater, we stepped back outside, and Mugman decided to free my hand, but Cuphead didn't. He held it tender, tensing his fingers around mine. Oh well, we walked into the crowd, and someone got close to us. It almost felt as if he was protecting me, or keeping me close to him. But why? My hand doing so. He pondered it for a little while, making a sound. What's wrong, Cuphead? Mugman questioned his brother as he reached out his glove hand to grasp the doorknob. Right now. Sorry. Nothing, Cuphead responded, taking a little step back. I think I might want to walk around for a little. What? Why? Mugman asked, tilting his head a little, looking at his brother. I figured if Cuphead was to take a little walk by himself, Mugman and I would enter the house. So I quietly, no, so I quietly made my way past Mugman inside the house, only to stop with Mugman tapping on my shoulder. I turned around to face him and noticed he had a huge cheesy smile on his face. Aww, they're gonna walk through the park. He eagerly pointed at Cuphead and I turned my whole body around to look at him. Reader, would you care to join me? He called out, with a big smile plastered on his face. I turned to face Mugman for a second, noticing his eyes looking like they're about to pop out of his head at any moment for excitement. I didn't really understand why Mugman looked so eager to wait for my response. I guess he was just quirky like that. Sure, I stuttered, still questioning what's going on. I walked out from the house and back over to Cuphead, where he is. Yet again offered me his hand. I didn't know why, but I couldn't resist holding his hand. So I placed mine on his and felt him hold it into me, just warm and soft as last time. I'm good. Have fun, you two, Mugman shouted behind us, as we began to walk to the opposite direction of the house. I turned to look at Cuphead, who still wore that delightful smile on his face. So, where are we going? I pondered out a little. Just for a walk, he responded, guiding us both into a cozy forest of ingle aisles. I thought we could spend a little more time together. The tone turned from moving from sounding convinced to a little shy. I think they say convinced, or never mind. It was really cute seeing how he wanted to be with me a lot, and I couldn't help but to blush. After walking and chatting for quite some time in the forest, my legs started aching from moving around all day, and I started to slow down a little. I felt as if my leg couldn't take another step. So I let go of his hand and reset my back a little on the nearest tree. Reader, are you alright? He asked, giving me a confused look. I'm just really exhausted from walking around all day, I sighed. Maybe you should sit down, he suggested. Where? I asked, look around to find some sort of bench or seat anywhere. Up there! Cuphead pointed out a long, sturdy branch of wood that extended from the tree behind me. I looked over at it and giggled, noticed it was up over my shoulders. I don't think I could get up there, I explained, walking over towards it, reaching out for it. I attempted to pull myself, but just a little too high, and I was incredibly exhausted for today. Looks like you could use some help, doll. Cuphead proceeds. Walks over to me. Suddenly, his hand grabbed my firm into my waist as he pursued to lift me up the branch. Jesus, I'm really... My words today. Sorry. I couldn't help but to let out a squeal and giggled in response, since I'm not expecting to be grabbed by him. Once he placed me gently on top of the branch, his hands slowly unwrapped themselves from around me, and he looked up for me with a huge plastering grin, making me feel a little shy inside. I straightened out my dress a little, looking down at him. We both laughed at the fact that I was still taller than him. No, that was now taller than him. How would you get up here? I questioned while playing at the end of my dress a little. Easy, he responded, before reaching up the branch and hoisting himself up next to me. He sat down a few inches away from me and turned to me with a look of pride on his face. Show off, I teased, playfully pushing at him a little, which caused him to laugh. I had looked around a little, and in the far distance I could make out an Elder Keldo's house. It seemed, since it was getting late, Cuphead decided to stay close to his house, but not far away enough for us to be alone. As the day turned into night, we talked for what seemed to be a few minutes, but actually 2 hours. It was getting dark and close to 7 in the afternoon. We just been in the middle of a deep conversation before we were disturbed by the delicious smell of cursory through our nose. We looked over to the house so we could barely see the lights on. Looks like it's about dinner time, Cuphead explained, hopping down from the branch and looking up at me. You coming? He asked, holding out his arm to capture me. I leaned forward and proceeded myself to jump. Cuphead grabbed me by my waist again, cautiously lowering me down on the ground beside him. I looked him up with a thankful smile, noticing he was blushing just as much as I was. Not more. No, sorry, if not more. A few silent seconds passed before he took my hand again. I began to walk us back the direction of the house. Once entering upon the front door, Cuphead allowed me to enter first, as he proceeded to follow behind. Kettle! Cuphead shouted, give me a little fright. We're back! Oh goodness, just in time for dinner, Elder Keller responded to the kitchen. We walked past the staircase and through the living room to see a dining room table with 6 chairs around it. Behind those tables was a white kitchen counter with bowls of steaming hot food ready to be put on the table. I noticed Muckman was helping Elder Kettle in the kitchen and was happily paying attention as he began to grab some of the dishes out of his cupboard. Well, I could actually finish this whole episode, but I just realized we passed the 10-minute mark. And I don't really want to spend a lot of time. So I guess I'll leave it here. But don't worry though, I'll make a new video pretty quickly soon. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great Christmas. And I'll see you soon. Bye.